Hello everybody, I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys everything that I received for my birthday. My birthday is March 22nd, and I got some very, very generous things given to me by my parents, and of course my dear friend on YouTube here, Chesley. Of course, all of you probably saw that unboxing video. Very exciting stuff. So I'm going to quickly go through some of that stuff first, and then I'll get into the stuff that my parents got me as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so the first game we have here is Star Fox 64 3D. I spoke about this in my games I've been playing recently, episode number 4. So watch that video to hear my thoughts, but it's an excellent game, no doubt. The next two things we have here are The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for the Xbox 360, and of course the original soundtrack signed by Jeremy Soule himself. So really, really cool stuff here. Of course, all of you know what Skyrim is. I don't need to go into any discussion about that, but it's a fantastic game, and the soundtrack is one of the greatest soundtracks in current gen games that I've played thus far. So really great stuff here. Moving right along, we have Mass Effect 2 on the Xbox 360, also sent to me by Chesley. I've actually not played any of the Mass Effect games. Of course, number 3 was just recently released. So now is probably a pretty good entry point into the series because I can play through all 3 without worrying about having to wait for the next entry into the series. But I've heard 2 lost a lot of the RPG elements that were within the first game. It's much more of an action-oriented shooter now. But regardless, I'm interested in the series. I definitely want to delve into number 2 over the summer. And, I'm sure I'll be giving my thoughts in a later video at some point. So really cool stuff there. And then, of course, we have 4 excellent Pixar movies here from Chesley. We have WALL-E, which I actually have not seen. Finding Nemo. I don't even want to know how many times I've seen this movie. It's so good. Up. I love this movie so much. And actually, the kid in here, who's absolutely adorable. His name's Russell, which is, of course, my name. So, I love that movie. Such a charming story. And Ratatouille, which is also an excellent Pixar film. And then, also moving right along here, we have lots of Studio Ghibli movies. Of course, all of you know that I've really gotten into the Miyazaki films, one of which here is actually not a Miyazaki film, which Mike pointed out to me, of course. But really excellent films here. Ponyo, which is actually my favorite Studio Ghibli film. I know a lot of people say that Spirited Away is their favorite film, but Ponyo was my first Studio Ghibli film that I actually watched. That may be why it's my favorite, but I just feel that, Sosuke, who's like the main little boy in the film, and Ponyo, just their relationship is just so charming, so adorable, and I just feel like Ponyo is seriously one of the most adorable animated characters I've ever seen, and just her voice is just, I don't know, just the whole thing is just so charming, and I just love this movie so much. I actually have not watched this yet. This is Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, but some very notable voice actors in this movie, American voice actors, so I've heard this one's good. Chesley held it in pretty high regard, so I'm very interested in seeing how this movie is, but I haven't watched it yet. I have seen this, so I'm going to hold that to last here. Whisper of the Heart, I have actually not seen this yet either, but I plan to watch these movies very soon. Probably when I go back to school, my roommate and I will power through some of these, some weekend when we have some extra time. But these movies are great, so I'm sure this won't be no exception. And, oh my goodness, Grave of the Fireflies, I watched last night, and nearly brought tears to my eyes. One of the most moving and tragic films I've ever seen. Basically, it is set during World War II, and this older brother and his sister are basically left homeless because their house was, along with half of Japan, was just pretty much demolished through the air raids during World War II. And they're basically homeless, and it's their struggle to survive. But what's just so moving is just how much they care for one another, and just the love that they have for each other during this terrible time. They're terribly nutritionally deprived, and it's just very, very tragic story. But definitely very moving, definitely well worth a watch. So definitely check Grave of the Fireflies out, you guys, but prepare because it is a very tragic story. Alright, so we have a PlayStation 2 game here, an action RPG, Rogue Galaxy, very highly recommended by many people. but Chesley sent it to me. So another RPG that I have to get to at some point. I have a tremendous number of them in my backlog right now, but I hope to get to this during the summer when I have some extra free time because I love my action RPGs, and I've heard this one is really, really good. And also right here we have a lot of PS3 games that Chesley sent me, one of which is Uncharted 3. I also spoke about this in my games I've been playing recently. But after I've put more time into it, I'm actually in Chapter 13, I believe, now. And I'm definitely enjoying the game, but I feel like, maybe I'm just, bickering about minor complaints, but I feel like people are throwing way too many grenades at me. It's kind of deterring my experience a little bit, to be honest. I just feel like I shouldn't be having this much trouble going through some of these levels, but I feel like I'm dying repetitively because of the number of grenades, and I'm getting shot out like crazy. And at first, I felt like it was more of an Indiana Jones approach to the game. A lot of puzzle solving. You were in these temples and just really cool environmental puzzles. But now it's more of like a run and gun, shoot 'em up like craziness. Like as I said, grenades are everywhere, and people are blowing me up with machine guns, and I'm enjoying it definitely, but I just would prefer a little bit more of the jungle setting and kind of running through these temples and solving puzzles, and then shooting some people here and there is fun. But we'll see. I'm sure in a later video I'll be giving my final thoughts on the game. But for what I've played so far, I really am enjoying it. And a game here that I, of course, haven't played yet because I haven't finished 13. By now, you guys have probably already seen my Final Fantasy 13 impressions video. But that is Final Fantasy 13-2. A game that I definitely cannot wait to play because, of course, I'm loving Final Fantasy 13. Another game here that is seriously before the second one came out was a game that everyone praised. And they still praise because it's still an excellent platformer, very unique in its own right. Definitely was very innovative in its approach to the customization that players can have for the game. You can kind of design your own levels and stuff. And that is Little Big Planet. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but I cannot wait to delve into this when I get some more time because I've heard it's fantastic and just a really great experience being able to see the user-created content in the game. And then also we have a really interesting RPG here, Dark Souls. I've not played this yet. I have played Demon's Souls quite a bit, but this game is, I just know prior to even going into it that it's going to be pretty brutally challenging, but I cannot wait to sink some more time into, or sink some time into this. Alright, so now we're going to get into the things that my parents purchased for me for my birthday. My mom got me 2 strategy guides, which was really cool, and the first one we have here is Final Fantasy 13. I'm going to be completely honest, I've been using this a little bit during some of these incredibly challenging boss battles towards the end of the game here. But just beautiful artwork throughout. It is definitely a very well done strategy guide. I'm really enjoying just kind of flipping through and just reading some of the character information and some of the more in-depth storytelling to kind of get a better handle on what's going on in the story because it is pretty complex. So really great stuff there. And then, of course, my mom went the extra mile. She found out that I got Final Fantasy 13 too, and she purchased me the strategy guide for that as well. This is still sealed, but I will be opening this. I'm not going to keep it sealed, and I don't have any reason to do that. So really looking forward to playing this game and also flipping through this guide. And then I also was out with my dad today, and we went to GameStop. And, of course, everyone knows the complaints that anyone can complain about GameStop. There's just so much to complain about. But I'm not going to go into that in super detail, but I will bring up a few things while I was there. But first, I'll just go through the games. First, we have Uncharted 2, Among Thieves. Just about everyone and their brother has said that this is the #1 game out of the 3 as far as their personal favorite. They said that this game did everything, took everything that they had complaints about the first and went above and beyond to correct those and also just implement so much more that just made this game outstanding. And I cannot wait to play this after I finish 3. I might as well just play 3, play 2, and then play 1. Just, whatever. I'll just go backwards. I don't I don't know. At this point, who cares? But I'm really interested in playing that. There was nothing wrong with this copy, but there are some things wrong with these 2 games. But other than that, I'll keep going. I didn't get Uncharted 1 because they had a greatest hits copy, and I just cannot stand those ugly red cases. I can't stand them. So I held off. And they only had one copy of it, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, which I was surprised about. But I'm sure I'll be able to scout out a copy on at other GameStops elsewhere. But another game we have here is Resistance: Fall of Man. Now, many of you guys might be wondering why I decided to go with this game. Personally, lately I've been playing lots of RPGs, a lot of shoot 'em ups, and I haven't really gotten into or played any just turn off your brain completely, post-apocalyptic setting, killing aliens and monsters, and just running and gunning for 6 to 8 hours. I didn't play Gears of War. I haven't played Left 4 Dead in a while. I haven't played any games like that. So I think this will definitely satisfy that void in my gaming desires. So I know it's a little bit old, but Insomniac, I love them. I love them a lot. Spyro is very dear to me in my heart. But I've heard this game is decent, and I'm not expecting greatness. I'm expecting to go in and shoot up a bunch of aliens, and if I have fun doing that, then it was a worthwhile purchase of $6, I think this was. So, Resistance: Fall of Man. Let me know what you guys think. But my complaint about GameStop here is, one, there were stickers all over it. But I can deal with that. That's really no big deal. What really frustrates me, though, is that they had greatest hits copies there. Of course, I shuffled through until I found, a non-greatest hits copy. But of course, those freaking morons gave me a greatest hits disc. I need to just end up checking the cases prior to leaving the store. That's my fault, but that's frustrating stuff, you guys. But we won't get into that. Now, the final game we have here, I have covered up because I want you guys to try and guess it. It is an HD collection, so your options are already kind of limited. They are 2 games in this HD collection. You guys probably already know what it is. 2, just classic PS2 games that I actually have never played myself. So I cannot wait to play this. That is the Ico and the Shadow of the Colossus collection. 2 games I know so many people praise. Pete Dorff's favorite game is Ico. Dinky Dana's favorite game is Shadow of the Colossus. So many people have this game on their top 10 lists of all time. So I cannot wait to play these games. I remember watching my friend play through some of Shadow of the Colossus, and I distinctly remember him going up against this Colossus. It was like a big dragon thing. Really interesting, but I'm very excited to play these 2 games, and I'm sure I'll be doing a video dedicated to my thoughts on the 2 games and just what I think about them. But the problem with this, and all of you guys know, my dad paid $40 for this because it said new on the case. So he opens up the glass casing, and he's flipping through the shelves, and between 3 or 4 games, he pulls out this little yellow slip, which was the disc, and then he put it in here, and then he goes the extra mile here, and he puts a sticker to seal it. That's considered new these days, guys. Apparently, I guess that's what's considered new. But that's frustrating because I bet you $1 million those employees were had taken this copy home and played it, because there's fingerprints on the bottom of it, which is incredibly frustrating. But what are you gonna do, guys? I can't complain. I got an excellent game, and as long as it still works, I'm not complaining. So, Resistance: Fall of Man, Ico: Shadow of the Colossus, and Uncharted 2 are the 3 games my dad got me for my birthday. And then, of course, my mom got me the Final Fantasy 13 2 strategy guide and the Final Fantasy 13 strategy guide. Of course, as well as all of these wonderful things that Chesley included in the package that he sent me, in addition to the PlayStation 3 console with all of the downloadable content on there. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. It was definitely a longer video than I expected it to be, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to let me know some of your thoughts on these games. Definitely some of the Studio Ghibli movies if you guys have seen those as well. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more videos in the near future.